Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be taking a look at the new issue of 3T Told to Tell. This is issue number 7, and it is themed on lust, sex, and desire. If you haven't seen any of the previous reviews of Told to Tell anthologies, Matthew Mackman, who runs Told to Tell, always gets like the coolest creators, a really great mix of creators. Like really big names like Brandon worked on the last one. This one has Hoche Anderson in it, with some more like underground people or people coming up. Someone who's just like taste and artists I really vibe with. And me and Sean were lucky enough to collaborate on a piece that went into one of the Told to Tells, number 5, I think, off the top of my head. So just a lot of really cool stuff. They're very limited runs. This one I think is maybe 200, and they're mostly sold out. And there's also a subscription you can get if you hit up Matthew on Told to Tell on Instagram, and I'll show you the zine that's part of that subscription that came with this as well. There's also oftentimes just some straight up illustrations from artists that Matthew likes. So this is Noirmatic that did this right here. Let me see the cover. The cover illustration here, which got covered up a little bit for the cover and a little more exposed version here, is by Kevin Much. Really love this. I'm not sure how it was done. It looks probably partially digitally done at least, but really harkens back to like the Cheesecake pinup stuff, Gil Elfgren, Petty, Vargas, those guys. So really beautiful version of that. Not sure what the medium is, whether it is airbrush or digital, but it hits the look perfectly. A story here by Sterling Bartlett. So as I'll do with pretty much any anthology, I just want to show you a spread by each artist so you get a sense of what the artists are, and I don't want to go into details too much, because I think everyone should go get a copy of this. But this is a story called The Wife Guy. So a guy who's doing social media that's all obsessed about his wife, and really well drawn, well written. You can see really nice, like clean line art with some flat colors, really well chosen flat colors, and I totally dug that. I'll show you some more stuff by this artist later in the book. This one by Hoche Anderson, this is the most I could show, but really cool style that's being used here. That's what I'm saying, like with these, is Matthew gets a real range of artists, legends and up-and-comers all in the same book, but always with impeccable taste. A spread here, not a comic, but this is by Danny Hellman. This issue being themed on the erotic, I'm having a hard time finding even pages to show, but there's a lot of good art in here. This one here by Sharon Lee is really cool. Kind of has a Charles Burns vibe to it, with like these creepy haunted genital forest imagery. Really cool layouts in here. Really nice black and white art. Then an article on the Dune universe. This is by John Bergen, and you can see there's a lot of different books being shown here, just the legacy of Frank Herbert, other adaptations of the work in comics. So that's a pretty common part of these. There'll be some type of essay about popular culture stuff, bunch of illustrations, which are like photographs of artifacts, basically real cool black and white kind of stark black and white photorealist style here by Tom Manning. Some really cool like ink slinger techniques too there, with like dry brush techniques going on. And then there's the Charles Dogolato. That was the person that did the black and white spread opposite of the Hoche Anderson. But there's a color story here that I really enjoy. These colors with this art style feels a little bit like the Frank Miller doing the Moebius technology in Ronin. And then Matthew took the art from that, the preparation art and stuff that he was given, and then did like a remix version in this little zine. So there's always like experimental things going on where Matthews really just has a ton of interesting ideas that he wants to try in these small formats. And that's kind of the subscription. You'll get these experimental little zines that are playing with different ideas about comics, like remixing and process art and things like that. And that oftentimes syncs up with what's going on in the book. So I'm always excited when we get new Told to Tell anthology. There's always a lot of cool artists that I'm exposed to, or pieces by artists like Banu Pratap and Everett Glenn, Brandon Graham, that are showing up in these as well. And that just makes me very excited about it. And I hope you know, people will run and get these. They're always very limited print runs, but it's something that we should all be supporting, that will continue to expose us all to a lot of awesome new artists.